MotoGP and WTA tennis tours, and an international cricket update. Gauteng club MM Platinum beats Magesi FC 1-0 to win the ABC Motsepe League final at Olin Park in Potchefstroom on Sunday. Sipho Mahlangu's second half strike earned the Gauteng champions, also known as La Masia, a first prize check of 1.25 million rand, while Magesi took home 600,000 rand. Both sides are promoted to the Glad Africa Championship.
Libuya ke ne platinum na ayiphase phumile ugoalkeeper balini lapha yaphakuza inethi wabalela phakathi nangu noMahlangu obhekele phasi waphuma ugoalkeeper waphambana nalo yaphakuza inethi 1-0 abafana ke base Gauteng and not Magesi. Ayikho into ezoyenza ke ugoalkeeper elihle igoli ke lakhe ke laphana ke uSipho Mahlangu. Athiwa ke ayiphakamise njengoba ke iqukula ke ukapteni Sikho sonke langa MM Platinum yase Gauteng ibona ke ompetha baka 2022 ABC Motsepe League national playoffs la Olin Park Potchefstroom.
And we bring in the man of the moment, Ashraf Hendricks. What a week it's been for you. Let's first talk about how your team has managed to keep a clean sheet throughout this entire playoff tournament.
No, 100%. We work on that because I'm a defender. So that becomes our focal point. We make sure that we're good at the back, we're strong at the back, work very hard in the week, especially with the boys, with Mish, B, brought in Magna as well. I mean, it doesn't matter who we really play. We've been amazing from all angles. So our defense, we bowled on. With Dingo at the back as a goalkeeper, Jomba as well. So it's been amazing, honestly.
Coach, let's talk about your intentions coming into this encounter. You had a plan of finding that early goal in the first half, but things not quite going according to plan. Where did it go wrong?
No, everything, the way we planned, everything went according to the plan. It's just that we couldn't get that goal. They played well, make no mistake. La Masia is a good team. They deserve this win. Congratulations to them. My boys gave everything. I cannot falter them. You see, they were a little bit tired, because of fatigue. They played 4 games, and they were pushing. We were going on high tempo. That's why today they were a little bit flat.
Banana head coach Desiree Ellis named a final squad of 23 for the 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco next month. Ellis included the likes of overseas-based players Tembe Khatlana, Rafael Wejane and Jermaine Siposenwe. The coach will be aiming to go all the way and win the competition, but there's also the initial target to clinch one of 4 places for the FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand next year. Banyana's opening AFCON game is against Nigeria on the 4th of July, and they'll also face Burundi and Botswana to round up Group C, from which the top 2 will proceed to the quarter-final stage. A study conducted by FIFA has found that over 55% of players taking part in Euro 2020 and this year's Africa Cup of Nations received online abuse before, during and after matches. The report found that homophobic slurs were the most common form of abuse that players received, with racism the second most common. Although the study did not mention specific names, England internationals Bukayo Saka, Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho all face considerable abuse after missing spot kicks against Italy when the final of the Euro 2020 ended in a penalty shootout. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has also responded by saying that no forms of discrimination are acceptable in football, while FIFA and FIFPro are also set to launch a moderation service to tackle online abuse ahead of this year's World Cup in Qatar. Englishman Matt Fitzpatrick won the US Open at the Country Club by 1 shot over world number 1 Scottie Scheffler and Will Zalatoris on Sunday to claim his first major title. Fitzpatrick, who began the day in a share of the lead with playing partner Zalatoris and one shot clear of defending champion John Rahm, shot a closing 2 under 68 that left him at 6 under on the week at this year's third major. The 27-year-old arrived at the final hole, one shot clear of Zalatoris and Masters champion Scheffler, who was already in the clubhouse at 5 under, but sent his tee shot into a fairway bunker to set up a nervy finish. From there, Fitzpatrick unleashed a clutch shot that reached the green and then two-putted from 18 feet to seal the biggest win of his career. By pulling one out, the victory, Fitzpatrick joins golfing great Jack Nicklaus as the only players to win the US Open and the US Amateur at the same event. Zalatoris, the PGA Tour's reigning Rookie of the Year, sent his birdie chance at the last just past the left side of the cup to finish runner-up at a major for the third time after falling short at the 2021 Masters and last month's PGA Championship.
It's what you grow up dreaming of. It's something I've worked so hard for such a long time, and you know, there was a big monkey on my back trying to win over here, and all they ever talked about was that. And you know, to do it as a major for my first win, there's nothing better.
Jennifer Cappuccio beat Leona Maguire in an extended playoff to win the major LPGA Classic after an initial three-way playoff featuring defending champions Nelly Korda at the Blythefield Country Club. All three had finished regulation at 18 under before Korda dropped out of the initial playoff, which Cappuccio would have won but for her eagle miss. That saw Cappuccio and Maguire return to the 18th hole for a second time during the playoff, and this time it was Maguire who missed a routine birdie to hand Cappuccio a second LPGA Tour title.
Yeah, I mean, it's really special. I've been really close, but I mean, this leaderboard was stacked. I think that's what I'm most proud of is the players that were up there with me. It was a very close battle to the end, and I'm proud of it.
Red Bull's Max Verstappen held off Ferrari's Carlos Sainz to win the Canadian Grand Prix on Sunday and celebrated his 150th Formula One race by surging 46 points clear in the World Championship. The 24-year-old Dutch driver took his 26th career win and 6 in a row, just ahead of a frustrated Spaniard Sainz, who was able to close the gap thanks to safety car deployments, but whose long wait for a first win continues. 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton completed the podium for Mercedes in a remarkable turnaround for the Briton, who has described his bouncing car as undrivable only days before. Sainz collected the bonus point for the fastest lap as the Italian team at least managed to trim the gap to runaway leaders Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship to hefty 76 points from a previous 80.
One of the best feelings of the year to be back, especially in Montreal where I got my first win 15 years ago, and to be back up there, to feel the atmosphere and feel the crowd was pretty special, and then just to kind of be in the race, you know, see the guys ahead and see that there's potential, you know, feel some of the potential in the car. That's a real positive for us.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I think overall in the race we seemed to struggle a little bit more for pace compared to them. So I think already with the last stop I did, if it would have gone to the end, it would have been a close call, I think, to really fight him. But then I was also not entirely happy with the safety car, of course, because then he came out behind me with new tires. So I gave everything I had in those last 15 laps, which of course are very enjoyable with an F1 car to go flat out. But the gap, I think, never really got bigger than 8/10. So it was a tough one.
Well, it's mixed feelings because P1 was very close today, and I was certainly, for the first time this year, I think the fastest man on track and pushing the absolute limit to try and put some pressure on Max and make him force into a mistake. We were 2-3 tenths quicker the whole race, but those 2 or 3 tenths are not enough to pass around here. You need a bit more pace delta, you know, to try and pass. It was close a couple of times, and yeah, it's a shame.
Yamaha's reigning world champion Fabio Quartararo won the German Grand Prix on Sunday to extend his lead in the rider standings after a risky gamble on his rear tyre compound paid off. Frenchman Quartararo, who started second on the grid, was one of just 3 riders to choose the medium rear tyre in very hot conditions, while the rest of the fields went with the hard tyres to ensure they lasted longer at the Sachsenring. Quartararo was quickest off the line, overtaking pole sitter Francesco Bagnaia of Ducati to take the lead at turn 1 as the pair sparred for first place and nearly made contact at one stage. But 3 laps in, Italian Bagnaia lost his rear grip on a turn and crashed out of the race, dealing a huge blow to his chances of reeling in Quartararo in the rider standings as the Frenchman cruised to victory. Quartararo's compatriot Jan Zarco of Pramac Racing settled for second place, while Ducati's Jack Miller capitalized on Aleix Espargaro's mistake late in the race to take third. Quartararo now has 172 points after 10 races, 34 points ahead of Espargaro, while Zarco moved up to third to sit further 27 points behind.
The most important is that we finished the weekend on a good way, and especially, you know, I was super consistent all the race. First controlling the gap with Johan, and yeah, finishing the race with that distance with the second is again a step forward for our confidence.
And still with motorsport, Rene Rust and Riccardo Feller topped the podiums after the weekend's 2 DTM races in Imola, Italy. Rust of Germany won Saturday's opening race from pole position, with Nico Müller taking second place and Mirko Bartolotti finishing in third place. Switzerland's Feller then got the better of Dev Gore after a restart in race 2 and went on to seal his maiden DTM victory. Marco Wittmann completing Sunday's podium. Sheldon van der Linde followed an 8th place finish in race 1 with a 5th in race 2, and the South African now sits 12 points clear of Bartolotti at the top of the championship standings.
Love sports? Well, you're sure to love Wednesdays as well.
Bench lethu lijimile, so throughout these 60 minutes, it truly is going to be epic.
Join Oliswa Zondo and Shampunizer as they dish it up for you. Get the juice, the 411. Get entertained and get to know your favorite athletes. Sport at 10. Live on SABC 1, Sport Channel on OpenView 124, SABC DTT, and on Telkom 1.
Mzansi football is about to change forever.
Football is freedom. Let's just go there and enjoy ourselves. Let's play. There's nothing impossible. We just go there and win the game.
Crunching tackles and lightning pace have a new face. Istande, Zamaya, and Ishibobo will be executed with perfection. Tactics will come alive with excellence and precision, just by the players you're yet to meet. Our names will be known from KwaZulu to the Free State. Our names will be praised from the Table Mountain to the hills of Venda. Because this time around, we, the women of Mzansi, take to the field. We're taking Idiski to new heights. Our home is football, and we love it here.
Double save! A double save!
Catch all the action of the Hollywood Bets Super League live on SABC 1, S3, DTT, and also available on Telkom 1. SABC Sport is the home of football.
Welcome back to Sports Wrap. In India, and the Proteas had to settle for a draw in the T20 series at 2 apiece after the 5th match in Bengaluru was abandoned on Sunday due to rain. Only 3.3 overs of play were possible, with India reaching 28 for 2 after South Africa won the toss and opted to bowl. Lungi Ngidi still had time to take 2 for 6 in 1.3 overs as India made a very poor start in the series decider. England sealed their series victory over the Netherlands as they cruised to a 6-wicket win in the second one-day international in Amstelveen in a match reduced to 41 overs. Besides, following heavy overnight rain, the home side were restricted to 235 for 7, but the English reached the target with 29 balls to spare. England will aim to complete a 3-0 series sweep at the same ground on Wednesday. A maiden one-day international century from opener Batum Nissanka helped Sri Lanka to a 6-wicket win over Australia in Colombo and a 2-1 lead in the 5-match series. Nissanka struck 137 off 147 deliveries with 2 sixes and 11 fours, and with Kusal Mendes made 170 for the second wicket. Game 4 is on Tuesday in Colombo. In Antigua, John Campbell smashed the winning 6 as the West Indies wrapped up a 7-wicket victory over Bangladesh in the first test early on day 4 of Sunday, while the West Indies resumed on 49 for 3, needing 35 more runs to polish off a run chase of 84 and got there in the 7th over of the morning. The second and final test starts in St. Lucia on Friday. Italian Matteo Berrettini retained his title at the Queen's Club Championship with a 7-5, 6-4 defeat of Serbia's Filip Krajinovic on Sunday, as the world number 10 gave himself the perfect launch pad into Wimbledon. Berrettini had too much firepower for the unseeded Krajinovic, who has now lost all 5 of his tour-level finals. The Italian, who also claimed the title in Stuttgart this month, has now won 20 of his last 21 matches on grass, his only loss coming in last year's Wimbledon final to Novak Djokovic. He has now won 7 ATP Tour titles and will go into Wimbledon as one of the favourites.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the winner of the 2022 Cinch Championships, Matteo Berrettini.
To be honest, I don't even know. It's too many emotions. The last thing that I expected was coming back from a surgery, winning 2 titles in a row, defending my title here, one of the most prestigious tournaments that we have. So I don't really know. Like, I don't want to cry. But yeah, it's most of the job is thanks to them, my team, my family, people that were close to me.
Poland's Hubert Hurkacz showed his Wimbledon credentials on Sunday, hammering world number 1 Daniel Medvedev 6-1, 6-4 to win the ATP 500 grass court tournament in Halle, Germany. World number 12 Hurkacz defeated Medvedev and Roger Federer en route to the semi-finals at Wimbledon last year and showed he will once again be a force to be reckoned with when the championships kicks off on the 27th of June. Halle is the 25-year-old Pole's 5th ATP singles title, and he kept his record in finals so far unblemished with his victory in just over an hour when he converted his second match point with a backhand volley.
Super happy to win my first title on grass, win my first 500 title. So so definitely very proud of myself from this week, and super happy to to share this moment with such a great team as I do have.
Tunisia's Ons Jabeur won a second grass court title of her career after reigning Olympic champion Belinda Bencic was forced to retire injured in the final of the Berlin Open on Sunday. Topseed Jabeur took the opening set 6-2, while Bencic injured her ankle in the final game. The Swiss attempted to soldier on, but was eventually forced to retire, with Jabeur leading 2-1 in the second. Even as the crowd gave both finalists a round of applause, the Tunisian was busy helping treat Bencic as she took her seat, bringing her an ice bucket for her ankle. Jabeur dropped only 1 set during the tournament in a warning to her rivals ahead of Wimbledon, which gets underway on the 27th of June. Jabeur is projected to move up to 3rd in the world rankings on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when to see Belinda like this. I wish her to recover very fast. You know, it's been a great tournament for both of us. And it's great to have this title, the third one in my career, hopefully many more to come. I'm really feeling happy, and hopefully it gives me more confidence to be ready for the grass season.
Beatrice Haddad-Maia has extended her winning streak on the WTA Tour to 10 matches after winning 2 on Sunday to take the Birmingham Classic. The Brazilian was leading the final with Shuai Zhang 5-4 in the opening set when the Chinese player decided she could no longer continue. After consulting with the doctor during the changeover, Zhang told the umpire she was retiring. She then crossed to hug Haddad-Maia, with whom she won the doubles title in Nottingham last week. Haddad-Maia is only the third woman this year after Iga Swiatek and Ons Jabeur to win 2 titles.
Today the toughest moment is to try to forget about the last match and try to play another one and prepare your mind after winning like Grand Slam champion, after beating Halep. So it was a challenge for me to change my mind and be ready for the next one in less than 2 hours. So I'm very happy and proud of me and my team because of that.
Risk everything, fear nothing. No regrets. Play hard or don't play at all and rise to the top. Catch the finest of local talent in the Heritage Rugby, Saturdays at 3 p.m. live on SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4, OpenView 124, and also available on Telkom 1. Your Wednesdays will never be the same. Ever. EFC's The Fighter is a gridlocked action-packed show that gets you up close and personal with EFC fighters and the roster.
First of all, I'm a redhead, and I'm pretty sure it's a known fact that redheads have the highest pain tolerance.
Watch as they draw their blood, sweat and tears for the love of extreme fighting. Catch The Fighter Wednesdays at 9 p.m. live on SABC Sport Channel on OpenView 124. SABC DTT and on Telkom 1.
The lights come on and flash.
What they need most of all, Jenny, is some luck.
And action got underway, but look at this card. It's a very different and challenging roll.
Oh! Taylor's rolled!
W-Series, the world's first female-only racing series.
This time it supports the global circus of Formula One.
And we go green, very good start. Sainz goes to the inside too. It's a historic day for Porsche as they take their first Formula E win.
World Swimming's governing body has adopted new rules for transgender athletes, only permitting swimmers to transition before the age of 12 to compete in women's events. FINA's members voted 71.5% in favor of the new gender inclusion policy at the organization's Extraordinary General Congress on Sunday. It will apply to all its events from Monday. The 24-page policy also includes proposals for a new open competition category. FINA said it was setting up a new working group that will spend the next 6 months looking at the most effective ways to set up this new category. The vote came after members heard representations from the 3 specialist groups, an athlete group, a scientist and a medicine group, and a legal and human rights group that have been working together to form the policy following recommendations given by the International Olympic Committee last year. Geraint Thomas became the first British and the second oldest cyclist to win the Tour de Suisse on Sunday after finishing second in the concluding 8th stage, a 26.5-kilometre individual time trial around Vaduz in Liechtenstein. Belgium's Remco Evenepoel won the stage in a time of 28 minutes 26 seconds, with Thomas 3 seconds behind the 36-year-old Ines Gradez rider. Overall, Sergio Guita to take the title by a margin of 1 minute 12 seconds over Colombian and the Jakob Fuglsang of Denmark, third overall. A cluster of coronavirus cases early in the week meant that just 79 riders remain in the race for the final time trial.
Yeah, super nice to win here. You know, it was it's something I've always wanted to do, especially after that narrow loss. And but yeah, it's just really nice to win here. Such a big race and such a hard race. I think the weather, for sure, is the hottest race I've done, you know, consistently. So super happy. I think we've got a strong team and just about staying healthy now. Easier said than done these days. But yeah, we've got a strong team. We're all motivated. We're going to go there and give our best.
Mexico City's main square, the Zocalo, was covered with red, white and green colors of the national flag on Saturday for the largest ever boxing class. 14,299 people gathered to follow a mass boxing class directed by local heroes Ana Maria Torres, Jackie Nava, Mariana Juarez, as well as David Picasso. In doing so, these thousands of boxing lovers broke the Guinness record for the largest boxing class ever. The previous record was established in Moscow in 2017. On that occasion, just over 3,000 people had answered the call. Many Mexican boxing heroes were present for the mass class: Andy Ruiz Jr., Jack Nava, Oscar Valdez, as well as Eric Morales. And lastly, the rematch between Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua for the world heavyweight title will take place in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on August the 20th. Usyk will be defending the IBF, WBA, WBO titles he claimed from Joshua in beating the British fighter in London in September. Joshua will fight in Saudi Arabia for the second time, having beaten Andy Ruiz Jr. in the Kingdom in December 2019 to reclaim the same belts. The announcement of the rematch was made on Sunday.
Championship of the world.
We'll catch Soccer Zone on Monday evening at 8 o'clock. It's live on SABC Sport Channel. It's also available on OpenView Channel 124. And the rebroadcast comes your way on SABC 1 at 10 o'clock this evening.
SABC Sport commemorates Youth Month by standing up for what they believed. The youth of 76 made it possible for us